Do you ever feel it? That quiet ache, the suspicion that the world you're living in was never designed for you. Like everyone else was handed a manual for existence, and somehow yours never arrived. You watch people laugh, smile, and boast, but you see through it. The desperation hiding behind their jokes, the fear disguised as confidence, the loneliness beneath their loudest stories. And the more you notice, the more you start to wonder, is something wrong with me? It isn't. What if I told you that Carl Jung identified something extraordinary in people like you? A way of perceiving life so rare that most will live and die without ever experiencing it. A state of consciousness so sharp, so penetrating, that it unsettles everyone around you. This is not a flaw. This is a frequency. And once you see it for what it is, you'll finally understand why you feel exhausted, isolated, and unable to tolerate the shallow surface of modern life. But be warned. Once you understand these signs, you can never go back. Are you ready for that kind of truth? Sign 1. You see through people. You don't just see faces. You read them like open books. Words mean little to you. Energy means everything. Someone tells you they're happy, but you feel their emptiness. They brag about success, but you sense the sacrifices eating away at them. Jung called this dangerous perception. It's dangerous because it reveals what people spend their entire lives trying to hide. That tension you feel in rooms, when conversations suddenly grow heavy, that isn't in your imagination. It's the unconscious of others realizing that you see their shadow. And instead of confronting their truth, they make you the problem. You're too intense. You overthink everything. Can't you just relax? But you can't. Because for you, pretending that the surface is reality would be betrayal. And so, you carry the gift and the burden of seeing life unfiltered. Sign 2. You crave depth. For you, small talk isn't just boring, it's torture. Empty conversations drain your soul faster than silence ever could. You long for connections where masks fall away, where truth replaces performance. But most people are content with emotional fast food, quick comfort, shallow validation, endless distractions. That's why you feel lonely even in a crowd. You're not starved of people, you're starved of authenticity. And this hunger is not pretentiousness, it's survival. Your consciousness requires real connection, the kind of dialogue that feeds the soul. Without it, you wither. Sign 3. You absorb everything. Here's where it gets darker. You don't just observe people, you carry them. Their hidden rage, their buried grief, their unspoken longing. You take it in without choice, and it clings to you like smoke. That unexplained sadness that hits you, it might not even be yours. That anxiety pressing on your chest, perhaps it belongs to someone you sat next to earlier today. Jung described this as participation mystique, where your boundaries dissolve into the collective unconscious. For most, it happens rarely. For you, it happens constantly. This is why you crave solitude. Not because you hate people, but because you need to sort out which feelings are yours and which are not. But beware, this absorption can become addictive. By carrying others' pain, you sometimes avoid facing your own. And that avoidance leads to the next struggle. Sign 4. You live a split life. Rare minds live in constant tension. Your true self is too raw, too real for the everyday world. So you fragment yourself. There's the professional you, the social you, the family you, each carefully crafted, each partially false. But every mask costs you something. Every time you dull your light, you betray your nature. And this betrayal produces strange symptoms: chronic fatigue, unexplained anxiety, a deep sadness doctors can't diagnose. Not because you're sick, but because your soul is starving for authenticity. You are not broken. You are suffocating beneath performances the world demanded of you. And if you don't break free, your gift will wither into a curse. Sign 5. You recognize your own kind. Despite the loneliness, Something mysterious happens occasionally. You meet someone, and within seconds, you know. They're like you. The masks fall effortlessly, time warps, and suddenly you're speaking truths you've never spoken out loud before. Jung called this synchronicity, but it feels more like soul recognition. Rare recognizes rare, and once you taste it, everything else feels empty. This is why you'd rather be alone than fake connection. Once you've been truly seen, invisibility becomes unbearable. Your soul now has standards it refuses to lower. Sign 6. You carry a greater purpose. You've always felt it, haven't you? That pull, that restless fire that no achievement can quiet. Success doesn't satisfy you because you weren't made for success. You were made for transformation. Jung believed individuated people, those who've integrated their shadow, carry a responsibility to the collective. You feel what needs healing. You sense what must be created. But here's the paradox. The same sensitivity that gives you this vision also makes it unbearable to live in a world that resists it. To fulfill your role, you'd have to reveal your full self. And being fully yourself feels like social suicide. Yet you know deep down, this is why you're here. To be a bridge, to say what others can't say, to wake up those still asleep. Sign 7. Your wound is your power. Almost all rare souls share one thing, a deep wound. Maybe you were the child who felt too much, who saw through family facades, who couldn't play along when everything was falling apart. That sensitivity made you a target, but it also preserved your authenticity. Jung believed wounds are not accidents. They are initiations. Your wound carved you open so that light could enter. And now that same wound allows you to guide others. The very thing that once isolated you is what gives you the ability to heal. Not because you're flawless, but because you're real. Not because you've transcended suffering, but because you've transmuted it into wisdom. This is your ultimate alchemy. The scar that almost destroyed you has become the mark of your true power. Now we arrive at the final truth. Recognition is not transformation. You can know you're rare and still waste your life pretending to be ordinary. Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." For people like you, it's not just a privilege. It's a responsibility. The world doesn't need more well-adjusted followers. It needs rare souls willing to stand in their full intensity, even when others call them too much. Yes, some will leave. Yes, you will be misunderstood, but the right people will find you, and the work only you can do will finally reveal itself. Your sensitivity is not weakness. Your intensity is not a flaw. Your inability to fit in is not failure. It is the very contribution you were born to make. If you felt every word of this, you already know this video didn't find you by accident. You're here because you're ready. Ready to stop hiding, ready to stop apologizing for your depth, ready to live as who you truly are. This channel, Stoic Philosophy, is where we go deeper into these truths every single week. Into the teachings of Jung, the wisdom of the Stoics, and the strategies for living as your real self in a world addicted to masks. So if you're done pretending, subscribe right now. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a reminder that you are not alone, not broken, and not too much. Leave a comment below with 3 words, "I am rare," and watch how many others echo it.